Hi, I'm Siobhan Haggett. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am the administrative coordinator in continuing studies, and I'm here today with Al Tomas. Their pronouns are they, them, theirs, and they're going to be teaching a class called Zine Making for continuing studies this October. So thank you, Al.
Yeah, hi guys.
Perfect. So we're going to talk about zines. And so I have some questions for Al, and Al's going to let us know about zines and the zine making class. So, yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so Al, first off, what is a zine?
So a zine is a self-published, independently published publication. It can be anything from, and I have some examples here that I can show. It can be anything from informational like brochures. So I have some here. Let's see. This is a how to do risograph 101 brochure, and it has all this information on how to print on the Riso, which we got from Club Press in Portland.
Oh, cool.
And then there's this one, which is what is a print, and it's from the International Fine Print Dealers Association, and it just has all these like terms on like printmaking terms and stuff like that. And they can also be informational and more in the way of like how you would think like of a newspaper or a magazine. So I have Preacher's Fire, which aren't in publication anymore, but they used to have all this information on what different kinds of like concerts or stuff like that, so that you could like get one of these and see like on Saturday, September 10th, what of this is of 2016, so it's not this year, but you can see what concerts were playing in the area and like what spaces they were in. So that's one way zines are used, but also they're used for artists and for artists and collectives. So I have two here from this collective called Zazu Friend. I don't know if they're still making some stuff, and they used to be based in Portland, Maine, but I think they have since spread out. But these
Yeah.
are also called instant zines. So there are also different types of zines. This one's an instant zine where, as you can see, it folds out like this, and it's like a single sheet of paper, and it folds into a little tiny booklet. And they don't have to be tiny booklets. Let me. So this one's on 11 by 17. This is also from a collective, which they don't make them anymore. But this one's more like this is with a larger piece of paper. They can also, most of the ones that I have here are photocopied, like from a photocopier, very easy to make.
So they're pretty accessible then.
Yeah, exactly. They're pretty accessible. Even if you don't have a photocopier, you can just make a few one-offs. Like, I know people have made them for like birthdays, and they're just like for fun. You can do literally anything. The possibilities are endless.
Cool.
Um,
That's great. Like you showed a really wide range there where we have ones that you can learn things from and there's all sorts of information inside of them. And then ones that are just for fun, like little collages and like just expressing yourself and
exactly.
having fun.
And there are also with like going back to there are different forms of them. You
Ooh,
can
yeah.
also make them in so many different sizes and shapes, and you could go crazy. I have a few examples of that. So this is an accordion fold. It's actually the tiniest. I think this is one of the tiniest zines that I have.
Oh my God.
By Lily Everson. Oh, it just came loose, but this is by Lily Everson, and it's accordion fold, and it just like folds in different directions. So it just like keeps unfolding, and on each little thing, there's like little different, there's little different like pieces. It's all coming apart now, but I think this does end up unfolding into one sheet of paper as well. It's just um, a different way of cutting and folding. Let me try
That's
to.
really exciting. And so in that one's case, it almost seems more about the aesthetics of it and the colors than like having a certain idea or topic throughout it.
Exactly. So this one, Sorry, I'm trying to get this one together. It has all these different photos. I don't know exactly what if there is like a narrative or something like that, but it seemed to be just about the aesthetics of it. And then there are other ones. This is another form, and it's just a booklet form. So this has like a I don't know if you can see it. It's sewn on the binding, and this one's called The Confusion of Bricks by Benzo Harris, which I think I got at the New England Art Book Fair a few years ago. And it's just like that's one way you could do it. You could also use staples or whatever you have accessible to you. Like honestly, like whatever paper, whatever you want to put in them. This one has pictures in it, so someone took some photographs and made them into this booklet. But yeah, and people use it with drawing. I have this one here, which is made on the risograph, which was like the brochure earlier by Olivia Fredericks. So yeah,
Oh, nice.
they can be made any type of way.
So that's really cool because, I mean, I'm just thinking about the first one you showed, the very tiny one. Like it looks so complex as a finished product. Like it folds in all of these different ways, but it all started from this tiny, like flat sheet of paper, and it's just about the way that you're cutting it and folding it. So it's really not as complex as it seems in the end to do. Like anyone can make these.
Yeah, they're very once you get a hang of it, and once you get the hang of the basics, it's really easy to figure out how to make them and to experiment more on like forms and stuff and deciding like what materials you want to use and how you want to distribute them and bring them out into the world.
That's awesome. There are zines that I've heard of before where it's people have started like in their own homes, in their basements, like making zines and then sharing those with their friends or at zine fairs. And then those zines have become super popular and now are like full published books. Like we were looking at one the other day, Nick and I were, where it was a zine that started off as just this little like vegan cookbook, and now they've made it into a fully published cookbook because it became so popular. So
that's amazing.
There's just such a range that zines can
I know
as well, which is really fun.
Yeah, exactly. And I honestly think of zine, like some things that normally like people wouldn't think of zines, I would think of zines like trying to think of an example, but I think another thing that could be considered a zine is just regular books that are published by smaller publishers sometimes. Just like books that aren't as popular as like say like big
like a New York Times bestseller.
Yeah, exactly. Like Oprah's best-selling list of books or her book club or something like that. But
okay, yeah. Cool.
Smaller independently published books I think can also be zines, but
cool. Yeah. I think it's really fun to know that like a zine could be anything you want it to be, and there's such a wide range of like what is considered a zine.
Exactly.
So something that I think of also when I think of zines is the MECA Zine Fair, which has been happening for a couple years now.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 maybe.
Yeah, which is really fun. So, I mean, zine fairs are popping up all over the place and have been for years.
They have. I was a part of the MECA Zine Fair, and it was really great to be a part of the community. And I made some zines, and people would come by and sell them, and I could like look at other people's zines. And sometimes other artists will trade zines if they see that they like the zines that they see at the zine fair, just like go up to other artists and say, or if they have friends. I tend to trade a lot of zines with friends. Awesome. And we used to have, I don't know if it's still going. I think that in MECA it might be, but we had Zine Club, which we would, I think one time we all just got together after Zine Fair and we put all our zines on the table that we just didn't want anymore, that we like wanted people to have, but we didn't want to sell them anymore. So we just like traded a bunch of zines, and that was just a lot of fun to like trade like what we made with each other, which was really
Oh,
cool.
that's really cool.
I think I brought up the New England Art Book Fair before, but I think that's a big platform for a lot of people who make zines and art books, which I think I would consider some art books zines. I
Definitely.
think it just depends on the artist too, if they decide if they want to consider their art book a zine or not. But
Yeah.
they do sell a lot of zines at the New England Art Book Fair, which I'm not sure if it's happening this year, but
I haven't heard about it yet, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. There's also there's one in New York. I think it's just the New York Zine Fair or New York
Mm,
Art Book Fair or something like that,
okay.
which happens around the same time as the New England Art Book Fair in October. But
And we'll
that's
link
a
resources to these below. And we'll, because this will be in the description on our YouTube, we'll link those. And we'll link other cool zine websites that you can all check out as well.
yeah, exactly. Nice.
Al, is there anything else that you feel like we've missed that you want to bring up about zines?
I don't think I have anything else for you guys. At least I can't think of anything. But so, the class that I'm teaching, I wanted to be as accessible as possible to anyone, which is why I chose zines because they are easily made. You can use whatever materials that you have in your house. If you so choose, you can buy new materials, but you really don't have to. And we'll just be making instant, like we'll start with instant zines and we'll go from there. And we'll be learning a little bit about the history of zines, like in the punk scene and stuff like that. So yeah, it should be exciting.
Awesome. Great. And that class starts October 9th.
Yes, it does. Very exciting.
All right. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, see you soon.